The first proper day of the RAS today. When I mean proper, I mean rain.
A huge bunch of riders coming. Who's going to take this? Who is going to take this? Is that some of the Irish team that's on the front? That is one of the Irish team that's on the front side. The Irish team. And that was Robert John McCarthy from
Stage 2 done and dusted. Didn't film anything today pre-race because it was absolutely pouring it down and it was freezing cold. The weather now for the rest of the week looks a lot better, but yeah, I left the camera in the bag. And the weather before the stage pretty much set the tone for the entirety of the stage. Like, there was not a moment where it stopped raining. It just rained all day long, which made for some very sketchy riding in the bunch. As always, we tried to get away with moves, get away in a breakaway, but nothing was really going. The team leading the GC is the Swiss national team. They were shutting down most moves. Finally, they let a group of 2 guys go away, and they basically just controlled the race. It was another fast day. The first hour and a half, we averaged 50 kilometers per hour. And then by the end of the day, we averaged about 47. On paper, today wasn't a real hard stage. There's a second cat climb and 2 third cat climbs. But one of the third cat climbs was like a 5k drag, and the Swiss team just rode it quite hard. It wasn't that steep, but it was quite long, and it was just uncomfortable. A large number of people like from the bunch got dropped there. Maybe like not quite half, but just less than half of the bunch, I would say, just got dispatched there. And yeah, it was pretty grippy. Like, it felt harder than it should have been, really, just from the way that it was raced. The breakaway was brought back with 7 kilometers to go. We did our best to set up Will for the sprint. I mean, we took him into like 2 or 3k to go, got him up there right at the front. Coming into the final corner, which was about 300 meters to go, he was sat about 5th or 6th wheel, absolutely perfect position, ready to launch his sprint up a slight uphill finish. And the 2 guys in front of him slid out in the final corner because it was raining, it was pouring down, the roads were slippy. He slid out in the final corner, and even though Will didn't go down, he got stuck behind the crash, and that was his chances of the stage win out the window. We all finished in the front group. That was the main thing. We're all still up there on GC. Joe's still up there on GC, which was the main priority today. So I would say that, you know, stage 2 done and dusted, and things are looking pretty good. It's typical now that the stage has finished and it has stopped raining. But hopefully, though, I've been speaking to a few Irish people, a few of the locals, and they said that today is going to be the last wet day, and from now, like from here on in, it's just going to be sunny every day. So yeah, my fingers are crossed. I wore so much kit today. I had my jersey on, some arm warmers, my gilet, a long sleeve jersey, and the rain jacket, and a thick pair of gloves. So I probably weighed about 2 kilograms heavier, but it was definitely worth it. Good morning. Stage 3 of the RAS UCI 2.2 race today. After yesterday's atrocious weather, like absolutely atrocious weather all day, today is a complete stark opposite. We've got blue skies again, and I think this is going to set the tone for the rest of the week. I don't want to jinx it, but according to my trusty weather app on my phone, it appears that it's going to be sunny and it's going to be warm for the rest of the week. One of the struggles of a stage race is making sure everything is dry ahead of, well, during a wet stage, ahead of the following stage. Everything's pretty much dry now. Packed my shoes full of newspaper, and it seems to have done the trick. And hopefully I'm not going to have to dry any more kit during this tour.
It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. Goodbye to Piccadilly. To Tipperary, but my heart's right there.
RAS stage 3 done and dusted. We just arrived back at the hotel. I'm watching the Giro on Eurosport Player. Watching Yatesy hopefully retain his pink jersey in the Giro. But yeah, decent stage for us today. Pretty hectic start, as this seems to be the trend in this race. Until the break goes, it kind of just hovers around 50k an hour average. The break went about an hour in, The plan was for me, Jake and Fraser just to tag every move and try and get away in the break. Fraser ended up getting in a move that stuck. He spent the day in the breakaway. It was a hard day for him, which essentially freed us, like the rest of the guys, up, and my job then was to just look after Joe, make sure he was in a good position all day. I think the fire alarm's just gone off. But yeah, I looked after Joe all day, kept him at the front. The bigger teams controlled the breakaway and brought it back with around 10-15k to go. Then I tried to position Will for the sprint. Unfortunately, he got boxed in a little bit and it wasn't an ideal finish for him. I think I was the team's highest finisher in around 20th position. But yeah, relatively easy day if there is such a thing in the RAS. We still had a 46 km/h average. But things are looking good now ahead of the first real mountain stage tomorrow, the first real test for the general classification riders.